Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Craft of the Titans. So, if you guys did not see yesterday's speed build, let me make sure my magnet ring, oh yeah, there it is. If you didn't see yesterday's speed build video, we worked underneath the cloche room and got this area all set up, all spiffed up, and very happy with it thus far. The glass isn't all in just yet because we got to set up fishing nets back here starting today. We'll get some of those put in. And then we actually started working on the floor beneath this one, which is actually going to be another cloche floor. I did some testing, and I actually like the cloches for growing the mystical agriculture stuff. I like that way more than these farms. Because honestly, just 5 of these farms with growth accelerators is laggy. It's very, very laggy. You'll notice that FPS drops pretty hard when we get down here. The cloches aren't nearly that bad. There's still a little bit of frame hit, but honestly, the cloches are 100 times better, even using the conveyor belts. And so I want to do something down there for that, and then below this is going to be a storage floor, and then below that is actually going to be another cloche floor. So we're going to have altogether 3 cloche floors and 2 storage floors in this tower. It's going to be all of our agriculture stuff just right in this one tower. And so probably once I get those cloches set up and the storage set up for them, the drawers that are over in this tower that have the magical crops essences, not the finished products, but just the essences, those are probably going to get removed and replaced over in the agriculture building. So that's going to free us up a lot of these drawers, because this would have taken up a lot of drawers putting in all the essences. Right now it's not too bad, it's pretty manageable because we don't have just a ton of essences being farmed, but we will remove all of that once we get that cloche area done. So probably next speed build video we'll get all that set up. I'm going to set that up on speed build instead of on an actual episode. We've covered the cloches, we've set up a room with those, unless you guys specifically want me to set up another cloche room with mystical agriculture stuff. If so, let me know, but otherwise I'm just going to do that in the speed build video. That way it doesn't take up as much of you guys' time. Alright, so anyways, I've actually got this set. Well, I had this set. Okay, right here. Liquid XP, this final XP quest. We're going to go ahead and select that. We're going to go ahead and start dumping some XP into that for a minute. Just so that we can go ahead and finish out that last care package quest for XP. Also, some of this food stuff we could probably start knocking out. I don't know if we'll get around to that today. We'll see. Because I do want to get into actual editions a bit more. I also want to get into IC2. That's going to be the bulk of the episode. So anyways, let's go ahead. We're going to start actually with actual editions. We're going to actually start with actual editions, actually. So for this, we're going to need an Empower and 4 display stands. And this will actually get us another quest finished out. By the way, do not put, or at least for me, I don't know if this would happen to you guys, but the crashes I was having is due to wood going here, 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 here. Wood planks, even in a crafting table, anywhere I put wood planks, if I put wood like that, it crashes. That's why if I shift-click trim in, it crashes. Because I think it places this wood first, then goes to place the sticks, and it crashes. So, just a heads up on that. Let's see. I think that's right? Like the 4 pieces of wood right there. It's whatever. Now, 5 pieces of wood like that in an X shape. That crashes. Okay, not the 4 sticks. So I would suggest against it. It may not crash on you. I don't know, but it crashes every single time on me, and sometimes it leads to chain crashes, and it takes me a while to get on. That was the issue that I was having because I was like, "What's causing this crash?" My crash log wasn't telling me anything at all. That is the problem. Okay, so for the Empower, this is actually pretty quick, pretty cheap. First up, we're going to need a double battery. It takes a single battery. I am going to need a few of these things, aren't I? I think advanced coils. Let's take basic coils. Let's go ahead and get like 5 of those, because I will need a couple, I think, for all of this stuff. Actually, I should make the display stands first, right? So then advanced coils, we're going to need altogether 5 display stands. So we'll go ahead and get that. And let me go ahead and make like 5 more basic coils. Okay, and then for the display stand, we're going to need aesthetic green blocks, aesthetic quartz. They did have us make a bit of that before. I don't know enough for 4 display stands. So we are going to need a little bit more aesthetic quartz. I don't think we'll need anything after that. No, because once we have a display stand set up and an empower, we don't need this stuff anymore, I don't think. So that's chiseled quartz, and this one is block of quartz. Okay. So there's 3 blocks of quartz, chiseled quartz. I always forget these recipes. It's quartz slabs. And there we go. Chiseled quartz blocks. And then I'll just dump this into there. Technically I could set up a recipe. I'm just not, because it's not really me being lazy, it's just the fact that we're not going to need this like ever again now. Okay. It's one of those things you just don't use a whole lot of. Display stand, let's get 1 more of those. Okay. Now we've got that. Next up is the empower. And it's the double battery, the single battery. Let me go ahead and get a couple of these as advanced coils. Oh yeah, I almost forgot I'm out of gold right now. Okay, we used it all up in the speed build, like the last of it, and yeah, which is fine. I'll just, no, I don't need the pan cast. I need the ingot cast. Honestly, we're probably about to move away from this for ore processing, and actually moving into just ore doubling or something like that. Realistically, after we get that classroom set up, I may not even worry. I don't know. I'll give it some thought and see, kind of as we move forward, if we even need ore doubling. Because all of our standard stuff, we're not going to mine. We're just going to magically get it from crops. So, but I don't think we really need that stuff automated with going magical crops route for the majority of the stuff. And honestly, those cloches, and really we have gold being created. Like, I have gold essence. I think so, yeah. We have gold essence, we're just not, it doesn't, those farms, even with all those growth accelerators, granted I know there's ways to speed it up even further, but thing is lag. If I get down there, like, my frames already chug. That's one thing that's kind of dangerous with farming, like standard, is all the crop updates that have to happen for a crop to grow. Whereas with the cloches, there is no crop update, so they're like the best thing ever, like since sliced bread, as far as automating crops go. Okay, so the empower, we're going to drop it down right here, and then the display stands we're going to put on these edges out here, 2 blocks from the empower, just like that. Okay. And now, I don't have I don't have any draconic evolution power systems set up, so let's go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to want a Wyvern wireless energy crystal. Missing a little bit of gold. I'll go grab that real quick, because I think we're going to give it power wirelessly through draconic evolution. And then items and stuff we'll use maybe conduits. Okay, so the Wyvern wireless energy crystal, and there it is. Okay, and then the Wyvern, we'll need an IO crystal as well. How's this coming along? I know I keep checking this. Okay, we've used up all the XP that we have in there. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Well, we're about halfway through that quest. That's actually a lot of XP. That was 108 levels that we just dumped in there. So, cool. But then again, I do have, I don't know how many I have, but I have experience essence, which I could then turn into bottles of enchanting. 8 of those makes 4 bottles of Enchanting. Okay. But I'm probably going to automate that. We might actually automate that this episode too, so we have XP generation coming in. Because I'm going to need to enchant all this armor and stuff. Honestly, I might pull that thorns off of there. I don't know that I really need that. But we'll see. Alright, so I want to plug this into... Actually, I think this can probably just plug in straight into the side of this. And we're going to snag this as a connection. And we're also going to change it over to input. Yeah, there's no input 5 times. Okay. That was mainly, I think, that was a 1.7 thing. But I always forget about it. And actually, I can pull these off too, which is going to be nice. It's going to be very, very helpful. Okay, I think the I/O, though, we're going to put it just kind of down in here, like right there, or the wireless connection. And we're going to go ahead and connect those over. That's got power, so it is getting power from that. And I'm going to go ahead and pull all of this off for now, all of that. We'll go ahead and connect these up. And I think this can support, what is it, 25 connections, 32 connections. So that's perfect. Okay, so then I also want to connect it to the display stands, all 4 of those. Any side is, no, not the top side, but any side, or I think the bottom can accept it as well. So, alright, so those are connected up. Really, I could connect up this, technically, but we don't really need it. I can get rid of all the energy cables in here. But anyways, I could connect this up. That's my plan, is to, you know, change all this over now that we have wireless power. In that way, all of that will be sorted. Alright, but anyways, since we have that now set up, it's plugged up. We could use it, but I want to automate it. I don't want to manually use the Empower. I hate manually using that thing. I mean, it's nothing against the block. I think I just don't like using it because it's really, really easy to automate. Let's get ourselves a chest. That one will be fine. Let's get ourselves just a few filters. Standard would probably work. Let me see. I mean, really, empowered-wise, there's Redstonia, there's Palace, there's Diamantine, there's Void, there's Ameritech, there's Inori. That's 6. I believe a filter holds 5. Right? So we may just go ahead and go for advanced filters. Yeah, actually we're going to go for advanced filters. The reason being is because some of that stuff, like, for example, making empowered Restonia, it takes, you know, multiple items and all that. So might as well go ahead and go for empower, or the advanced ones. So we're also going to want item conduits. Let me grab a few of those. Let me get... I'm going to need Z-Logic controllers. Let's go first for like 3 of these, I think. And that is, what, Solarium? Let me look. I always forget this recipe. Actually, we've got 2 right here. So really I only need 1. I've got to look that up. I only need 1 of these. 2 Solarium, 2 Silicon, 1 Redstone. Okay. We only have 41,000 now. Not long ago, we were having issues with redstone. Now we're getting so much redstone because of that. Those 2 little crops. Well, 6 little crops. But, yeah, even still, that's absolutely crazy. Okay, slice and splice. There you go. This thing still doesn't have any power. I know we were originally working on this tower and we were going to focus down this one, but then I got switched over to the agriculture building, and now I'm just kind of focusing that one down because it's stuff. Realistically, I need that stuff done. So that way we have all the materials that we need to move forward, especially with the item, sending them the items and all that mess. So there's that. We've got our item conduits, got cables. Now we just need a was it the crafter? I think we have... No, we don't have any of those on hand. Just order one of those. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Oh, we'll also need an importer. Oh, we're missing cable. Can I not make cable? That's fine. I don't need that many cables. There's an importer, and I guess technically I'm going to want, I think, 2 chests. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so now what we can do is we can set all this up. It's got power coming in from the sides or wherever, wirelessly. And I guess, let's see, how do I want to do this? Because I need the wires coming down, but my floor is only 1 thick. Well, I tell you what, I could just facade this. I can do painting machine with these blocks. I just can't do micro blocks or anything with them, which is kind of the issue we're coming into with the cables. So let me get the painting machine making some facades here real quick. We'll say 30. That's being very, very generous, but that's alright. And we're going to need one of these dreadstone bricks. But I'm going to need those facades elsewhere, so I'm just going to go ahead and let them... I'm going to let it make it, I guess. Okay, so that's running. And I guess we'll have the conduits come from the bottom then. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all of this. And we're going to plug up conduits on each of these. And we're going to say this is all green channel. You can insert. You can insert. You can insert. You can insert. And then on the Empower, you can also insert, but it's going to be on the brown channel. And you're also going to be able to extract on the blue channel. Okay, just to make things a bit easier on us, we're going to use a bunch of channels. Alright, and then, let's see. I guess the conduits are going to come over, and we might actually set up the recipe inside of one of these, because there's a little bit of room inside these that we could use, like right in here. Actually, I don't know why I broke that. I can just come in from the bottom. But I think that's what we'll do, is we'll set up a crafter, and we'll have it like... Yeah, we'll have the crafter setting like right here. No, not facing down. The crafter's going to set right here. It's going to face into a chest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have item conduits pull from that chest. On the green line. And on the brown line. And that's our 2 insert colors. Okay, and then we're just going to plug these up. Bring them through. And we'll bring them right over into this. Like that. Okay. I'll tell you what, actually, I'm just going to bring it through like that. And then what we're going to do, I will have to get on the top for... Well, no, I guess I won't. I'm going to put a... Let's see. Actually, I'm going to run cables from this first. So they're going to connect into the crafter. We'll bring this across. Hopefully I can sort something out for those redstone. Hopefully. Okay, and that's just going to connect right into there. And can I remove one of these? Not really. Everything has a connection that it's using, so, or a direction. Anyways, so that's plugged up. The crafter can now get stuff. And you can see the crafter's turned on. Awesome. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to set up another chest right here. We're going to say that this one you can insert on blue. And then we're going to come in from the top and set up an importer connected to this. So we'll say cable comes up. And there's an importer right there. Okay, so that's just going to pull stuff from the chest, and basically any finished products are going to come through the chest. Alright. And so now what we need to do for... The first thing I want to work towards right now is the fishing nets, right? From Actually Additions. For that, we're going to need Empowered Ameritech Crystal. We're going to go straight for the Empowered Ameritech Crystal blocks. It's just more efficient to do that. And so for that, we're going to need an Ameritech Crystal block. oak sapling, slime balls, lime dye, and grass. Now first up, have I automated Ameritech crystals? No, I have not. Okay, so let me teach you a quick recipe here. We're going to say that if you take emerald, a block of emerald, and you run it through over here, that's going to get you a Ameritech crystal. Looks like, I feel like, no, that hasn't been automated. I must have just configured it to accept it and not actually automate it. So there is the recipe for the Ameritech crystal block. And we're going to go ahead and put it in here. Actually, I can see what recipes I have. I've only automated redstonia. Okay. Just kind of automate things as I need to make them. Alright. Now let's make a quick pattern. Let's say if you take an Ameritech crystal block, it's going to give you 9 Ameritech crystal. And let me actually grab that back. In fact, loves to move those things around on me. And we'll go ahead and throw that into here. And now what I want to do is, let me get, what was it, sapling. We're also going to need, oh, grass was one that we were going to need. Yeah, grass, slime ball, and lime dye. Okay. Now I could automate grass. It really wouldn't be too much of an issue. Bone meal, shears. There might actually even be a way to get it. Otherwise, I'm just going to go grab some because it wouldn't take me a second to get enough grass that would probably last us forever. No, there's no way to craft it. Okay. So let me just get my shears. Throw on a magnet ring. Now, if I find myself needing a large quantity of this, sure, I'll automate it, but honestly, I think if I grab a stack of it right here and now.
Got him! Got him!
Okay. There we go. And go ahead and pull this magnet ring off before I mess something up. Throw all that stuff on the ground. Okay. So we're going to set up a quick pattern here. We're going to say that if you take now a block of Ameritech crystal, a slime ball, lime dye, oak sapling, grass, not 64 of it, just one grass, and that's going to get us the empowered block, right? So let's go ahead and set this up. And we're going to say Ameritech crystal block right there, grass right there, slime ball there, lime dye here, sapling right here. That's going to start running. And after a minute, there we go, it's done. You'll notice it gets pulled out. And it should get deposited into here. Empowered Ameritech crystal block. And we'll go ahead and put that into the recipe. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change up one small feature about this. Instead of using item conduits for this first part, we're going to change this up a little bit. Because I think we're at the point now where it really wouldn't be an issue to do this. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. Because one thing that you run into with this setup is you don't want too much stuff coming in that chest. It can mess up your recipe. It could say like grass, 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 sapling or something. Of course, we're going to filter everything. And technically, I could filter each of these. Yeah, actually, I think we are going to filter this. Never mind. We're going to keep it like this. We're just going to put filters on each of these. I was thinking about going with the blood magic conduits. I love those for item transfer, but then I got to thinking, like, they're a little bit harder to kind of facade, and in this situation, with only a 1 block space, I really need to stick with these, because I can do the painting machine, stick that on there, and there we go. So, yeah, we're going to stick with that, I think. I am going to need a couple more Z-Logic controllers. Yeah. Let me get like 2 more of these, in fact. Like the or the blood magic conduits would be a little bit easier to use, but it'd be a little bit harder to hide it with our current setup and everything. So I think we're gonna go with this. This works fine too. There we go, 2 of those, and then let's get 2 more filters. Need to get that stuff automated pretty quickly as well. Alright, so 5 filters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab those items. We're going to grab grass. We're going to grab sapling. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set advanced item filters into each of these, and we're going to say, like this one takes the lime dye. Okay, and this one over here takes oak sapling. This one over here takes grass. And then this last one over here takes the slime ball. Oops. And then we're going to put, on this filter, on the insert line, we're going to put a filter in Ameritech crystal block. And it'll pull out, it's smart about that stuff. Alright, so then if we throw all this into here and we ordered ourselves another empowered Ameritech crystal, right? There we go, everything goes into its right place. It gets crafted, and then it should be just about done right now, and once it finishes it should pull that empowered block out and it'll go into our system. So very, very easy. There it is, and pow. And if we take a look now, empowered, we have 2 blocks. Now some of these, I believe the Palace block is one example. You'll notice it takes multiple of the same item. All you have to do is add that to each filter, because it's going to send that chest 3 prismarine shards, right? Well, each display stand can only accept 1 item at a time. So if I ordered, say, 2 empowered Ameritech crystals right now, this one over here would only get 1 slime ball, and the other slime ball would wait in the chest. So if you had 3 prismarine shards, they just get split up between the display stands that could accept them. So no problem at all. Alright, so now I want to teach it how to make our fishing nets, because honestly I'm going to want a few of these. They take a while. It's like once every 12 to 15 minutes or something like that. It'll actually get a fish. So not super constant as far as bringing in fish. However, it's free fish. You just put this over water and pow, you're done. So, and honestly, we're going to have a few of these set up and they're just going to passively collect fish for us. It's not a big deal. Let me go ahead and get like 20 of these. Oh, I didn't teach it. Let me teach it one other recipe here. Okay, so if you take empowered Ameritech crystal, then you get empowered Ameritech crystals. If you take a block, you get 9 crystals. And we'll go ahead and throw that recipe in there as well. Okay, so now we should be able to order our fishing nets. Make me 20 of those. And go gadget fishing net. Where's that 20th one? Oh, it might have to be empowering something. Alright, well, 19 will work for now. And then let's get ourselves... I'm not 100% sure. Seriously? Okay, we got ourselves some cobblestone. And basically what I want to do is I want to set up our fishing nets. And we're just going to put down cobblestone, put our fishing net down there. So it's just right over the water. And then we'll do the same thing. Like, say, right over here. And it actually doesn't need a whole lot of water. You can see, I mean, these can be super shallow. And it'll work just fine. And I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have it kind of come down. Honestly, we'll probably end up adding more. I'm going to want a bunch of fishing nets. Because I think this area looks nice. And I may actually add some additional things, like maybe a tree right there in the center. And some little things like that. We'll see. But I also want it to serve its purpose, which is I want it to create us fish. So, we are going to have these kind of spread out. Whoops. 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 That was not on purpose. I broke all the sugar canes. Where'd all the sand go? Anyways. Okay. Actually, I bet the sand... Whoops, wrong ring. I bet the sand went in this backpack and probably got trashed. Yes. fairly certain that that's what happened to that. Okay, so I totally forgot there was additional cobblestone down there. And it's probably going to give me a little bit of FPS lag while that water's kind of getting cleaned up and stuff. This actually goes right there. So there we go, all that's cleaned up. Let me get just a bit of sand here. I don't know why the FPS is still so bad in here, because there's like... There we go. Yeah, it's just flowing water going down there, I guess. It did not like that at all. Okay, I tell you what, this spot, like right here, I'm actually going to tear out that sugarcane, because we're going to need a place for the conduits to kind of go as like their final spot, like a chest, and then connect into the drawer system, you know. Okay, these will not connect straight into that, which is fine. I wasn't 100% sure. I'd never actually tried it with conduits, just straight up conduits. So I think what we're going to do is instead we're going to get ourselves just some mini chests. A chest makes 9 of them. Let me actually get a couple more chests here. Okay. And then there's our mini chests. We have 63 mini chests. I think that's what I'll do, because I need some kind of an inventory on top of this. Mini chests are fairly small, thus they are fairly inobtrusive, so they won't be terrible. No, I don't know. I don't think there's any kind of like invisible chest that comes to mind, or anything that I could hide this with. I mean, I guess I could do glass chests. That's an option. Maybe. We'll see. But for right now, we're just going to put it like that. And then what we're going to have to do is attach item conduits onto these. So it's actually going to be very obtrusive. To say the least. I don't know. Like, I want this area to have function. Okay, well, for right now, we're going to use this. Okay? And then we're just going to have our item conduits kind of come out. We'll have it come down. I'm not going to have it really connect right there. We'll come down one more, and then along the ground here. This stuff's pretty well out of sight, like this far back. And then what we'll do is we'll just kind of have this come over like that. To right there. Now, we will eventually change this to a controller slave, but for right now, I need all the items, so I know what to put into drawers. So let's just get ourselves a chest. Standard one is perfectly fine. And then we'll just get down here and say that you can insert. Okay. Alright, so these are going to slowly generate fish. Like I said, it takes a little while for them to actually get anything, so it's going to take a while for us to get the drawers set and be able to change all of that. That's what it looks like. I mean, it's not terrible, but I mean, it's kind of obtrusive. So we might try some other things, but for right now, the fishing nets, just to get our drawers set, is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and set up these other... I don't know what I'm doing. I set down the cobblestone, and I'm like, okay, pull up the cobblestone without putting down the fishing nets. Makes a lot of sense. There we go, and we broke open the floodgate there. So let me pop downstairs just really, really quickly. Man, when that water goes down there, like the FPS just bombs. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. At least no water got on that farm. That's the main thing. Okay. I'm going to want to just light this area back up real quick. Alright, so has this gotten anything? No. It has not gotten anything as of yet. It should be able to push into a mini chest. It only gets, like I said, one item every 10 or 15 minutes, so we shouldn't have to worry about that chest getting filled up at all, because basically it's all just going to pump into that primary chest. So we'll let that run for a bit while we work on some other stuff, and then we'll go back and check on that and see how it's doing. I might change to glass chest. I don't know. Or I may change our fishing system entirely, depending. We'll see. I did not turn this quest in. Looks like. So let me grab all of this. Grab that. Detect, there we go. And we get a ring of magnetizing and a creative modifier. Yeah. Neither of which are really things that we will probably use particularly, but at least I don't foresee it since we're really not using Tinker's tools and I don't have any like pressing drive to use Tinker's tools at the moment. We've got a rapier. Might use that, but honestly, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so that quest is done. Let's see. For this quest, they want us to get 2 empowered Ameritech crystals, 4 empowered diamantine. Might as well go ahead and knock that out. The Ameritech crystals, there's that. Diamantine, I'm going to go ahead and teach it this whole, like, basically recipe line. Then to actually empower diamantine, we need light blue dye, clay, and then clay. Okay. And I'll just throw everything into this chest. That'll get it empowering. And we'll have the recipe done. It's actually really, really simple once you have all this set up, like the filters and stuff. Just throw everything in and pow, you're done. But then that'll finish out that quest. Now while we're waiting, we've got another quest here to get the magmatic generator. Okay, we got our empowered diamantine now. And we'll go ahead and turn this quest in real quick. And they're going to give us some stuff for canola power. We're not even going to bother with that. I've automated it before. I've shown how to automate it. I have no interest in it. We have better power sources within this pack. So, moving on. Also, this quest here to get 4 fishing nets. Let's go ahead and knock that quest out. Then we're going to switch over to IC2, work through some of those quests a little bit. There's our fishing nets. We'll go ahead. We get a fish pond, 2 ender chests, and a squid pet. And we'll probably set up the fish pond somewhere, like down on the ground at some point, just to see what it looks like. A little bit later on. Okay. So now let's switch over for a minute. And actually, before we start IC2, one thing I want to check real quick is we have... how many blocks of lead do we have at the moment? 74. Okay, we're not ready for that. I've got like 300 and something of the ore. I could do that, but I don't mind waiting. And after we get the colosseum set up, that'll be a lot quicker. Okay, so they want us to make a fluid solid canning machine. I'm going to go ahead and make this. Let me see. Compressor, metal former, metal former. That stuff's all automated. We'll probably put the canning machine right there. Basically, this episode, I mainly want to focus on making machines, kind of following the quest line, right? Now, next episode, let me see. Let me actually look at something really, really quick. To get those turbines, what exactly is it that we need? That's cheap. Nether stars could be cheap. Benatoite. Tell you what, because I think what we're going to do is advanced generators. We are actually going to be setting up another one of those that just produces IC2 power in the next couple episodes. And so what we're going to do, I think, here's the battle plan moving forward. Like this episode, we're going to focus on working through these IC2 quests, getting some more machines. Next episode, we're going to switch gears and go into Ars Magica because we've put it off for way too long. We need to get started with it, right? And then the following episode, we're going to come back. We are going to automate the Wither. I know that's another thing I've been putting off. I've been getting sidetracked a lot. We're going to automate the Wither. We're going to go to the Beneath dimension. And we're going to get a new, basically super advanced generator with those manual and turbines set up down there producing IC2 power. And probably upgrade the other one as well. We'll just have to get a bit of that benatite to do that. Because this is going to take a bit, but it's really not that bad, I guess. Honestly, we have the RF Tools Quarry. What would it take for me to get a second one of those, by the way? Because I've got the one set up. I really don't want to dismantle it. We could get it for 2 uncommon runes. And the quarry cards. We have a Clearing Fortune and a Fortune Quarry. Which one? I think we have Clearing Fortune up there. And we have a Fortune. Okay, that would be fine. We'll just do that. We'll get another builder block. Are these craftable by chance? Or do they have to be bought with runes? Okay, they're not buildable. So we'll probably get another builder block and set that up in the beneath with a filter set to only take benitoite. And then we'll be set. Because I don't really need a lot of these ores, right? So anyways, the canning machine. That's what we want to get right now. The solid... Is it the fluid solid or the solid canning machine they want? Fluid solid. Okay. That makes sense. So for this, we're going to need basic machine casing, electronic circuits, 10 item casings. Have none of it. Okay, so we're just waiting for this stuff to get made right now. There we go. And they're going to give us 2 pulling upgrades. Not something that we're going to use, but we'll go ahead and grab that. Now next up, the recycler. It says, and I know there were some changes. I do want to read this to you guys because I know there were some changes to the recycler within this pack. You can't use cobblestone, namely. The recycler is a machine that accepts common items, recycles them with a chance to produce scrap. 9 scrap can be combined to make a scrap box, which you can open for a stupidly useless item. You can also place a scrap or scrap box into a mass fab. This is extremely important, and we will discuss more on why that is when you can craft the Fabricator. For now, expect that processing scrap is an important part of in-game efficiency. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is you cannot just feed cobblestone into the recyclers like you did in previous packs. The recycling plant has blacklisted it. The good news is the recyclers still take nearly all other types of materials, and new ways to produce scrap have been developed, so you should not see a change in production. View your Clash of the Titans tip guide for more information. Armor is one that you can dump into there. Equipment. Like if you have, say, I think it's like damaged, like gold armor, gold equipment. Yeah, so you can throw it into like a crafting grid and get scrap boxes from broken gold equipment. So if you have a mob farm set up, which we need to get to that at some point, you can actually make scrap boxes that way. That might be a better way to go than going with the recycler. So, all right. So next up, the recycler. I know I haven't plugged up power to that. We will if the need arises. Honestly. We're going to need to get ourselves a compressor, and for this I'm going to need, let me go ahead and just make a couple, like 3 of these electronic circuits. Then our basic machine casing. Okay, so there's the compressor, and then we'll get the recycler. So that quest is done. Let's go ahead. Right here. And we'll get our 32 insulated copper cables for that. Now, I think what I'm going to do with the recyclers, I believe they can accept like a lot of this junk that we have, probably even like gravel. We don't use gravel for a whole lot. I mean, I know we use it on occasion, but I could probably pump that into recyclers and make scrap. Once we get a mob farm set up, start getting scrap boxes from the equipment that they drop. And doing that, maybe. But we'll play around with the recycler. I'm not actually going to set this up here. The recycler is not something that I really want with a crafter attached to it. It's just something we're going to automate. But until we get a mass fab and stuff and we're ready for it, there's really not a whole lot of point. Unless just to build up scrap. Okay, so next up, mass fab. And they're going to give us 64 scrap boxes. Which that is something that we will definitely be using. But I want power production first in the form of our generator. Right now my main goal is just to work through some of these and get it ready for the upcoming episode. Now I believe... Okay, I have not automated Lappet Ron Crystals. That's fine. I need to actually take a look and see what all... Okay, I have not automated advanced circuits either. And I am going to go ahead and do that. Just like that. Lappet Ron Crystals, Energy Crystals, that's an Energium Dust. Well, first up we need to teach it to crush diamonds. So we're going to throw... Let me clear this out. We're going to throw this into here. What is our... oh, we don't have a crusher, actually. Can this accept... Let's see. It should be able to accept other kinds of crushed up diamonds. Actually, additions. nuclear craft, industrial craft. Honestly, I'll probably go with the Actual Editions crusher, like the double crusher or something. It just so happens we have it automated. There we go. Double crusher. And we're just going to set this up. Let me get a crafter. And then what we'll do is we'll start a line of machines like over here. This is what kind of these bays are going to be for. I know there's cables running through this right now. There won't be once we actually need it. But I guess we'll start with this slot right here. We'll set up the double crusher. I'm just going to connect power to it via a quick right click with the crystal binder. I love that thing, by the way. And then what we'll do is we'll just set up the crafter. No, not right there. We'll set up the crafter. Nope, not right there either. Right there. Alright. And then we are going to have to attach importer to it. Honestly, I'll probably do it on the back side, since if I put it on the top, it wouldn't be able to access the machine above it. Anyway, so. Alright, give me one importer. And also I need some more blank patterns. Let me get like 20 more of those, because we're going to need processing patterns. Throw that into there, and it's already got the diamond in there. We're going to say sorting, or auto split is on. Let's go ahead and throw a diamond in there. We'll put the importer right there. Go ahead and break that off. Alright, so there's diamond dust. Looks like it gave us, is that the IC2 version? Yeah, that's the IC2 version. Which is fine, it all works the same. Okay. And we'll go ahead and throw that into there. And then into our crafter. Okay. And now I need to set up a recipe for the actual Energium dust. There's the recipe. Go ahead and throw this into there. And let's order 9 pieces. Then we're going to have to set up a recipe of what you do to compress it, basically. Now this should be pretty quickly, since it can actually do 2 items at once. I don't think you can actually run it through the sag mill or anything. Okay, so there's our Energium dust. And we're going to say that if you take 9 Energium dust, you send it through the compressor, that's going to get you a crystal. A lot of mainframe work this episode, I think, but it's leading up to our next batch of big projects. So, and honestly, getting into IC2 is something we've put off for way too long. It really, really is. Okay, so that is now automated. We've got energy crystals. Now, for the Lappet Ron Crystals, this is stuff that IC2 seems like it's going to be a very large part of this pack, honestly. So it's something that we definitely need to get knocked out. Lappet Ron Crystal. There's the recipe. And we're going to go ahead, get one of these ordered, and then we can get our mass fab. Oh, we're missing Lapis Dust. That's fine. We'll go ahead and teach you how to make Lapis Dust as well. So, Lapis. And I think the double crusher can handle that. Seems to be handling it okay. And that makes Lapis Dust. Awesome. And actually, let me see something here real quick. Can I make... Okay, I wasn't sure if I crushed a block, would it be more, but it's not. Okay. And we'll dump that in there. Okay. So now give me a Lappet Ron Crystal. And then while it's working on that, we could go ahead and do the first the canner, now the scanner quest. They want us to make a scanner for this. That's something we're really not going to use until we get into mass fab, but we could go ahead and take a look at it. Advanced circuits, advanced machine casings. That is something I don't think I've taught my system how to make. And I do need to do that. I feel like we end up just doing a whole bunch of automation. Every time we sit down to do IC2, it's like, well, gotta automate all these parts. Actually, it seems like it's done with that. Okay, yeah, we just need advanced machine casings to make the mass fab as well. Go ahead and dump that into there, and I guess we'll go ahead and automate the parts that are needed for this. Steel plates we've got, basic machine casings we've got, advanced alloy we do not have, and carbon plates we do not have. We can use pretty much any kind of crushed up coal. Do we have coal dust automated? Doesn't look like it. So I tell you what we're going to do. But I do want to teach you how to make coal dust. So we'll go ahead and say that if you take coal, and let's see, does it make... No, it doesn't make it. Okay. And let me actually get an octatic. Do we have any octatics? No, I might be able to make them though. Actually, I'm just going to pull one from that. Those machines I'm not using right this second, so. Alright, so that gets you 1 pulverized coal. I'm going to go ahead and encode that. Then we're going to make a recipe for raw carbon fiber. We encode that. Of course, I can't grab the stuff. 2 raw carbon fiber together makes raw carbon mesh. And then for the actual carbon plate, we have to run it through the compressor. So, alright, throw all those recipes in there. And then let's order ourselves just a piece of that carbon. Oops, let me put this into the processing encoder. Throw it into the compressor. I need overclockers in this. There you go. At least one to help you out. Once we get that new generator set up, we can go crazy with overclockers. What do they cost in this pack? Standard. Okay. So, we'll have to get some stuff set up for that. We might actually set that up this episode. Like the basis of it that we need. So, we'll see. We'll see where we get to. There's our carbon mesh pattern. Throw that in there. Put that in there. And then the advanced machine casing. What else do we need for this? That's done. We really just need the advanced alloy. Mixed metal ingots ran through the compressor. Not a problem. It should know it's iron, bronze, and tin. I'll go ahead and encode that. Iron, bronze, and tin. There's bronze. There's iron. There's tin. Okay. So it knows how to make mixed metal ingots. We'll go ahead and order like 2 for right now. And there we go. And we'll teach this. If you take a mixed metal ingot and you run this once again through the compressor. We're starting to use the compressor a lot, as you can tell. It's definitely something I'm going to need to speed up. But with our layout and our system that we're kind of going towards right now, in the next couple episodes, IC2 power is not going to be an issue. We can really hit IC2 hard. And IC2 is a big chunk of this pack, and we've kind of put it off and put it off and put it off. And here soon it's about to be all squared away. We'll be set on it. Okay, so now if I were to order advanced machine blocks, or advanced machine casings, I want 2 of these. You're missing bronze. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Just because we can, and there's really no point in even going to the alloy smelter right now, considering this is just as fast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop down here, head to our cloche room, because if you notice in the speed build, this is all plugged up right now. It's just basically just needs the conveyors and the seeds. Let me actually get just a little bit of dirt. And for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to throw dirt in there, throw seeds in there. Dirt, seeds. And the nice thing is, these, when they become fully grown, which this one actually doesn't have power. Not all of these have power. Most of them have power. All the ones on the bottom have power. And of course, I would pick the one batch that doesn't have power. It's like a quarter of the top section or something like that that doesn't have power right now. Sorry about that. I was like, man, these should be like producing like way quicker. Because by the time I get to the end of one, like you'll notice that one, there we go. I've already got bronze. There we go. Bronze essence, bronze seeds. So easy as pie. And by the way, this is the speed. I know it says like fertilizer amount, but you'll see the growth modifier is 1. That means there's actually no growth, or there's no fertilizer. It just shows that. It's weird like that. For reference, though, if you guys are curious, if I was to take bone meal and throw it into one of these, let me grab some of those seeds there. Okay, I throw this into here. Throw that. Throw that. You'll notice that the speed, the growth speed, it's a little bit faster, but at the end of the day, it's kind of negligible when stuff already grows this fast. So, but basically all down through here, we're going to have just cloches just producing essences for us. And certain essences that, of course, we're going to need more of, we're going to have more cloches set up. And it's just going to be that simple. Like, cloche room, down there's going to be another cloche room, and there's probably going to be more cloches within this room than what I have placed at the moment. So, cloches are so good, so OP, and, like, honestly, this pack is built so that you can get OP farming, right? With, you know, growth accelerators and those growth burst things and lily pads of fertility and all these different things that you could just stack and stack and stack for your farms. But at the end of the day, your farms are going to be crazy laggy. And so that's why originally I was going to plant my farms in a different dimension, but it's like, I could actually do it in this dimension as long as I don't use, you know, I don't use all the farming stuff. If I just go straight for the cloche, it works out well. Because originally I was just going to use it for all the Pam stuff, right? That was my plan because it kind of fit and we could have like a room of cloches. Normally I don't like doing the exact same thing for everything, you know. I didn't want to use cloches for all the farming, but when there's that much of a benefit to them, especially on the lag aspect, that's my main concern. I don't want this pack to become laggy and unplayable. So, yeah, we're going to go cloches. Lots and lots of cloches. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and order like 2 more advanced machine casings. We're probably going to need them. But anyways, here's our mass fabricator. Oops. And that machine we'll also use in a couple episodes. 64 scrap boxes for that. And there we go. That little section there is done. That's all the, I guess, primary basic machines sort of thing. But now they want us to get the scanner. This is... It's actually going to take a few little things there. Illuminators and stuff. Okay, I was just looking, and I know it's about wrapping up point. I wanted to bring you guys over here and we'll check out the fishing nets. Not really sure where that string came from. Oh. Some of these aren't actually plugged up yet. Whoops. That's where that came from. But anyways, if we take a look in here, this is what all we've gotten so far in the short time that we're working. Just on these, actually. So, I mean, it's really not that bad. We've got ourselves some raw perch. We've got raw anchovies, raw bass, raw tilapia, snapper, octopus. We're going to go ahead and start setting some of these into the drawers. And I tell you what, we're going to actually mimic the list from Pam's as we do this. So, for example, right here, let's start from the back. It would be the green heartfish. Oh man, I hate setting these first ones in here. Okay, tilapia goes like 6 from the end. So we'll say this is the end. Okay, so it'll go like right there. Then we'll have snapper here. This just kind of makes it a little bit easier, you know, as far as telling, like, okay, this goes here and stuff. And then from snapper, we go 4. So our raw perch would go right there. Octopus goes right next to that. You know what? I actually don't have enough drawers. I am noticing. Let's see. Here's some more fish. The catfish actually go... Yeah, I don't think we have... We're going to have to add some more drawers in here. It's nothing too crazy, but I might want drawers for like standard fish and stuff as well, which I don't have, you know, that at the moment. I don't have space for that. Also pufferfish. Yeah. So I didn't quite leave as much room as I thought I did. But I'll get that sorted. It's not a big deal. Okay, so there we go. We still got a bunch of fish, so we have to fit into this. And a bunch more fish that we haven't gotten yet. I must have miscounted somewhere and not realized it. So, I mean, I could always turn these lit redstone lamps, but I don't really want to do that. So what I might do is have maybe, I don't know. I'll figure it out to where I want to put those drawers. It's not a bunch. It'll be like, probably about like 5, 6 drawers, something like that, to fit all the fish. So I'll get the exact count, figure out what we're going to do with them. I mean, if worse comes to worse, I could just change some of these lit redstone lamps. We shall see. Or if it's like 8, I guess I could take out like the middle one. Each of these, replace it with a fish drawer like randomly or something. I don't know. But anyways, I think we're going to end out this episode here. I know it's about wrapping up point. Next episode, when we come back, we will be working on Ars Magica for sure. And then depending on where we get to with that, really I think the stuff that I plan to do shouldn't take too long. So we may go ahead and automate the wither next episode. Once again, I do apologize. There's certain things we've been kind of like pushing down to focus on the more important stuff. I felt like Nether Stars, I can live without fully automated for a bit. I mean, it's already pretty well automatic. I just have to go actually build it. So, but yeah, we'll probably work on that next episode and Ars Magica for sure. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.